And as we keep our focus on the impact of the Maharashtra verdict, joining me today is Naresh Arora, who's a political strategist for the NCP. Thank you, Mr. Arora, for joining us on Times Now. First and foremost, the Mahayuti has achieved a landslide victory in the assembly elections. What would you attribute this remarkable success to?
There are many things which the victory can be attributed to, but if you have to pinpoint one of it, then it is, obviously, the Ladki Bahin Yojana and the campaign around it, which ensured that the people, especially the female voters of Maharashtra, were educated about the scheme. The scheme was executed in an efficient manner, and its benefits were communicated in a way that the voters reposed the faith in the NDA government, and they re-elected it with a historic mandate.
Mr. Arora, the Congress and the Sena UBT have experienced their worst strike rates in these elections. What, in your view, are the key reasons behind the declining performance of the two parties?
See, I was not advising any of the parties which you are naming, so it will be unfair on my part to comment on their strategy. But from the looks of it, I think they were confused in their strategy to start with. Secondly, they were late in the game. They were not sure whether to criticize the Ladki Bahin Yojana, to acknowledge it, to disapprove it, or probably to approve it. That led to something of a negative sentiment in the minds of the voters, especially the female voters, that whether they are for us or they are against the scheme or the benefits that we are getting. So I'm sure that they will be introspecting about it in days to come.
Mr. Arora, I'm sure this question has come your way many times because Ajit Pawar previously stated that slogans like "Batenge to Katenge" would not resonate in Maharashtra. However, many believe that slogans such as "Batenge to Katenge" and "Ek hai to safe hai" acted as a significant catalyst for the Mahayuti's success. How do you perceive the impact of these narratives on the ground?
I don't agree with this, first of all, analysis, because if the same slogan was working everywhere, then the Jharkhand results would also have been in the line of Maharashtra results. Mr. Ajit Pawar, not just with the slogan part, but otherwise also in last 5 months have been consistently maintaining his stand related to the issues with the minorities, whether it was Vishalgarh incident, whether it was the Waqf Board bill, or whether it was an unpleasant incident with a minority senior person in railways. So his stand was clear that this is what I stand for. I am not leaving my ideology. The Maharashtra is a different state in which people expect progressive thoughts. And that is what he articulated during his campaign interviews and campaign speeches. And I think that the victory should be attributed more to the positive campaign of all three parties, and rather than anything else which was not on the positive lines.
Okay, so Mr. Ajit Pawar's role in the Mahayuti has been central, and there's also speculation now about his candidacy for the Chief Minister's position. Now, how strong do you think his prospects are for becoming the next Chief Minister of Maharashtra?
Thankfully, I'm not in that chair to make that decision. The right people will meet and discuss. Already some meetings have happened, and probably in next 1 or 2 days, we will have the outcome. My mandate was what it was, and my job is hereby completed. Wherever I am asked any kind of opinion, I will share, but TV, of course, is not the medium to share my opinion about it.
Thank you, Mr. Arora, for joining us. So there you have the political strategist for the NCP Ajit Pawar faction, sharing his views and weighing in on the Maharashtra verdict. Let's also shift our focus to another big voice. Now, this is Times Now's group editor-in-chief, Navika Kumar, who spoke to Union Minister Piyush Goyal. And here's what he had to say on the impact of the "Ek hai to safe hai" slogan on the results of Maharashtra.
Ek hai to safe hai. Is the Prime Minister's clarion call a big factor in this victory in Maharashtra?
Well, obviously a victory has many facets to it, and the people of Maharashtra, the people of India, want every section of society to work together, to live together in harmony, the Congress and their partners like Mr. Uddhav Thackeray and Mr. Sharad Pawar have tried to divide society on caste lines, have tried to divide society on religion, and very clearly, Prime Minister Modi has demonstrated by action over the last 10 years that all his work, developmental work and the welfare work, has never discriminated on any basis whatsoever. He believes in taking the good future and a better, brighter future for every citizen of India, every child born in India. And I think the people of India recognize that this divisive politics of the Congress and their partners is harmful for the country. Therefore, the country can only be safe when we are all together. Ek hai to safe hai is really a clarion call for the entire 140 crore Indians.
So that's how Union Minister Piyush Goyal has summed up the impact of the Ek Hai to Safe Hai clarion call given by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now, Maharashtra viewers has given a sweeping mandate for the Mahayuti. And brand Modi, after all, is the power behind the saffron surge, with the alliance securing 234 seats in the elections. Now, after this massive victory, now there is another hurdle for the Mahayuti, and that hurdle is the question of who's going to be the next chief minister. While the clamor in the Eknath Shinde camp is obviously for Eknath Shinde to continue as chief minister. BJP leaders, though, are pushing their weight behind and are putting their weight behind Devendra Fadnavis. But what's going to happen? With counting for the Maharashtra Assembly elections that has, concluded, we are also getting to know that the state now has 48 hours. And parties have 48 hours to keep the state away from the president's rule. That's because the term of the current assembly ends on the 26th of November. Group Editor-in-Chief Navika Kumar also spoke to NCP's Praful Patel on the next chief minister face and the race against the time for the Mahayuti to take this decision.
This time around, are we going to have the similar situation of one chief minister and two deputy chief ministers? And who's going to be the chief minister is the question everybody, every citizen living in Maharashtra wants to know. कौन बनेगा मुख्यमंत्री?
बन जाएगा 2 दिन में, आप खुद ही देख लेंगे. पर इतना मैं कहूंगा कि it's not about the chief minister alone, the issue. The issue is that first, all three parties have to elect their own legislative party leaders, which will all be done tomorrow for sure. After that, I'm sure we will all sit across the table, and maybe there will be some little intervention from the Bharatiya Janata Party leadership, because at the end of the day, you cannot take the fact away that it is the largest party in the coalition. It was also earlier the largest party. They had 106 MLAs and they had 9 supporting MLAs. So 115 people were on one side. And both of us together were less than the 115. So there's no confusion in our mind that the Bharatiya Janata Party is the largest party and the most important party in the alliance, after all, the anchor. So in a way, we have to first elect our leaders, then sit across the table.
But there is absolutely no suspense. The NCP will elect Ajit Pawar. The Shiv Sena will elect Eknath Shinde. That's a done deal. I want to ask you.
That's a process. You have to do it.
I'm not talking about the process.
How do you give a letter to the governor without electing your leader? How do you stake claim to form a government without electing a leader? So that process will be done tomorrow. I'm agreeing with you, but by tomorrow evening or latest by 25th, because the fact is that the term of the Maharashtra Assembly ends on 26th of this month. So the chief minister and at least the 2 deputy chief ministers will be sworn in definitely latest by the 26th. There is no question, and therefore this confusion or this suspense, if at all people want to say, is not going to last too long. But one thing is, you have to acknowledge that without the consent and without the guidance of the Bharatiya Janata Party, see, they are 130 plus, and maybe 131. I think we cannot.
133 the last I saw.
Okay, maybe 133 is a dynamic, the numbers are keeping on going up for everybody, I would say, including us. So last I saw was 40, now it's 41. So things are dynamic. But apart from that, we have to consider the view of the Bharatiya Janata Party primarily because it is the single largest party, and by a long distance. Both of us combined are less than the Bharatiya Janata Party.
So who's it going to be? Will it be Devendra Fadnavis, or will Sena keep pushing behind Eknath Shinde? What's going to happen in the next 24 hours? When will the decision be formalized? We're going to keep you ahead on that question. Ki Mukhyamantri kaun in Maharashtra?